Okay, guys, okay, so cool. So I'm Mac, obviously, and I go on Sundays. Um, and this week's topic is STPs, so that should be fun to talk about. My only experience really has been with the Gentoo Peacock, and I originally just got it as a packer. So I was like, oh, let's go work as this STP. So I was like, okay, fine. So I'll get something that works both ways. Word of advice, guys. For some reason, the website says get the 5.5 like in length or whatever because it's like versatile and you can use it for everything. And first of all, I'm not a hugely sexual person, so that was useless information. But I was just like, what the heck? This seems to be the one that works the best. But really, 3.5. Oh my gosh, it's way too much to pack. It drives me crazy and it's annoying and I can't wear those boxers and blah blah blah. It's just, but I spent like over $200 on it plus shipping, and it was just a hassle. So I'm not going to be getting a new one unless I'm able to like sell this one, which I might try doing. So about this one in general, first off, I'm not taking it out for you. It's in my closet. I'm just like, I'm not, because again with the size, it annoys me when it's for packing, but with tight pants, you're just like, oh my god, everything hurts. Really, I don't understand how cis males wear tight pants because it is painful, even if you can't feel half of that. So, anyway, it it worked pretty well for me for doing SCP stuff, but I mean, honestly, like, it's just annoying because you can't really, like, clean it out or dry out when you're throughout your day, and that just started getting really annoying just because obviously we have biological female anatomy, and so that kind of environment is really unhealthy for you. Just like, can you please put two and two together? I'm not going to explain it more than that. Just like, needs to be tried. So I figured that out pretty fast. So I was just like, okay, gonna have to just not. Um, so that's a thing to keep in mind. I would probably recommend packing over STP stuff because people don't notice if you go into the stall versus the urinal. They just don't really give a shit. Um, so yeah, but it is fairly realistic. It does get kind of annoyingly sticky. Like, not hugely annoyingly, it's just like, you kind of want to wash it once in a while or whatever. I mean, you want to wash it, but, and it takes forever to make it smell okay after you use it, so, again, I really don't like using it as an SCP. It is nice because it does feel like it's kind of part of you a little bit, so that's something I really liked about it. Harnesses are fine, but those are, again, for some reason, part of it's really uncomfortable and just caused issues, and that was just painful. So while the harness works really well, it does need to have less seams. Didn't work out too well. That was kind of painful. So there's that. So again with STPs, I think that the only annoying part about them is that you really can't clean them out, so dry them out throughout the day, and that's something that needs to be done, or else it's just gonna smell like weird and it's unhealthy and all that crap. So about the Gentoo Peacock, besides that, again, it fits really well, works fairly well, looks really good, actually does, I kind of like it, pretty happy with that, but you can get the 3.5, get the smaller size, and that is the normal size for guys in general in life when you're walking around, blah blah blah. Otherwise, you're just like, I'm gonna die, this is too much in my pants. And you're just constantly readjusting it, and seriously, that's like the most annoying thing in the universe. And the price range is pretty pricey, so it's like $200 something. I would probably recommend going to, I do not remember the website, but Reelmagik. And Reelmagik makes some really amazing, beautiful, lovely packers, and they make them in the right size, and they look super realistic, and I've heard some really awesome things about them, and they're less expensive than the Gentoo Peacock, actually. They just look amazing, and I would probably recommend that, a Reelmagik packer. It's around like $150 or $100. I don't know. No, it's around $100 for like the average one, unless you're like adding whatever onto it. But for the standard one, it's actually less expensive, much more realistic. lovely, so I would recommend that versus getting a Peacock, to be honest, because STPing, while it's like nice concept in practice, it's just a huge hassle. Seriously though, huge hassle. And if you're using something else, like whatever it is, the Go Girl or whatever there is on the market, usually it's not as realistic. It's a little bit more annoying when it comes to being in a stall. I mean, in the urinal versus in a stall. You can use it in the stall whenever, again, comes the problem of cleaning and stuff without getting a little weird looks and stuff like that. But it's nice just to kind of do that randomly and be like, yeah, I can do this. Another thing to go along with getting the Peacock, well, it's lovely. The shipping was really annoying. First of all, I did ship it to my friend's house, and for some reason they put the box, about this big little box, inside this pink see-through bag that has reddish pink dye in it, which gets on everything. Literally got on the box, got on my hands, and I was going straight to work, and my boss was like, why are your hands pink? And I was like, do not ask me, but I can't get it off, and it took me like at least an hour of washing to get that stuff off. I don't know why they did that. So my mom's friend was a little weirded out, so just getting it shipped to your house, a little bit weird. Getting shipped to college still will get really weird questions. So, there's that. What else? And I got a really weird phone call from the shipping company. So, they do bill binders and STPs and stuff as different things. They bill binders as like tank tops or shirts or underwear or whatever. And they bill the STPs as a novelty item. Apparently this isn't exactly legal, but they do that anyway. Just for privacy purposes or whatever, but the guy still called, and from Texas. Got a Texas call, and I was like, I'm from Chicago, so I was like, what? He's calling, he's like, okay, well, it says this bill is a novelty item. I think he had kind of an idea of what was going on or something, because he was very weird about it. And then he said, okay, well, I need to make sure it's not something that the FDA has to pass through, because it's international shipping, it's from Singapore. Another thing is, if it's international shipping, you have to sign for it at the door. So, I mean, my friend's mom was like, yeah, whatever, I'll sign for it, but it was a little weird. And then he was like, okay, is this something for the FDA? And I was like, no, it's nothing medical or whatever. It doesn't need to go through the FDA. It's just like an object. He's like, okay, so what kind of novelty item? And I was like, just random item or whatever. And he was like, no, seriously, I need to know. And I was like, it's none of your business, blah, blah, blah. Like, we figured out it's not FDA. And he's like, no, I really need to write it down. And I was like, write it down, it's just billed. And then he was like, I don't know, I think I got really annoyed, and I was like, here's the deal, I'm transgender, I don't know if you know that term, it's just a condition, blah, 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 and this is a prosthetic. And I said that, and I was like, it's a prosthetic, and he was like, oh, so is this for, like, sexual pleasure or whatever? And I was like, I literally was going to hang up on him. I was really annoyed, because I was just, like, listening to him, and from his tone of his voice, I was like, this is just getting really weird. So I was like, yeah, sure, fine. And he was like, okay, cool. And I was like, okay, bye. So you might get people being a little weird about what you're shipping. I haven't heard that from anyone else in any of the other reviews of that. Maybe that's just an experience that I had, but kind of weird. So just a heads up, shipping is just really annoying for that. But the product itself is actually really nice. So yeah, I recommend Reelmagik Packer over getting a STP of any sort, and Peecock is lovely, but still not a huge fan of STPs in general, and that was really not an STP talk, but practice in the shower. I mean, that's really all I got to say about STPs. Not a huge fan. Cool, so I'll see you next Sunday. Let me know if you have any other questions about topics you want us to talk about. I'll write our email in the box down below, and we will check it. Yeah, cool. See you later.